Hey, hi, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add some awesome games to your backlog or your wish list or, I don't know, your now playing list. Maybe you see something out here and you go, holy cow, I gotta get to that right away. Sometimes that happens, you know. Otherwise, we're just going to stack games on your backlog, and you know what? Eventually, you're gonna find happiness in that because you're gonna realize, boy, I've got so many great games to play here. This is just a wonderful problem to have. Thank you so much to the goat. Boy, why don't we kick things off with the snow gun? Hey, I'm back with Scarlet Tower. This is a bullet heaven game that I love to play, and it's been a minute. I don't know if I ever got a chance to show off this newer area, the Plague Lands, so I figured we would do that today and reminisce about coffee, of course, because we do that pretty much every time. Have some nice coffee talk, right? Let's go ahead and increase damage dealt. This is gonna pay dividends over time. Get that DPS up early and often. So we're gonna have a run in Scarlet Tower. We're gonna get into some talk today. Boy, we are leveling up really fast. That's great. My wife was out of town recently, and so I was man of the house, and that can be challenging. Do you know that you cannot put a plate of peanut butter in front of your child and say, dinner is served? Now, it was more than just peanut butter. There was some jelly as well, along with some oyster crackers. Have you ever heard of peanut butter pie? Look, I felt like I had put out Christmas dinner. My kids felt otherwise. Can't serve peanut butter pie to kids while the wife is out of town. We're going to talk about that. Okay, we're going to get into that a little bit. We might talk about some of the other things we did while she was away. All in all, it was a great time. Everybody survived. I'm here, okay? Don't worry. The show must go on, and it will. It will. It is. All right, let's go and grab ourselves. We got 2 more weapon slots here, so I want to be careful about what we take. I like the glacial staff, so let's go with that. Get a mix of projectiles and close-up melee action, and I think we'll have a nice run here. All right. Let's go with the... Ooh, this is pulling on me a little bit. Let's do that. That is going to pay dividends as well. Even more projectiles on screen. So, before we get into all that, those hot topics, if you're new here, thanks so much for being here. If you're not new here, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be our last one. I like the fire staff. Really appreciate all the support lately. As you know, we have surpassed the requirements to become YouTube partner, and we have made YouTube partner status. What has that led to? Well, a weekly giveaway, and that's all because of you. So I really appreciate the support. If you are new here, we'd love for you to not be new here anymore and hit that sub button. You know that hot sub button. You know you want to press it. Go ahead and press it. There's only one way to see what happens, and that's by pressing it. So Really appreciate the support, though, folks. I look forward to coming here and creating these videos for you every day. Really do. Wonderful, wonderful hobby. You're a big part of it. Okay, so wife went out of town. Now, my kids are not helpless children anymore. They are pretty independent at 10 and 12, so, you know, when she would go on work trips back in the day, it was a lot to ask of the goat. It really was. Nerves were tested during those times, if I'm being honest. We always survived, though, but it's much harder. Let's increase projectile speed by 50% and projectile piercing. The Scarlet sword, when it's fully upgraded, is quite wonderful. But my kids are fairly independent. You know, we've kind of coached them to be that way. And so when she leaves, you know, they're already kind of used to rolling up their sleeves and getting into it. So that certainly makes things easier. And my wife and I share the dinner making duties, but where she puts out a lot more elaborate meals, mine usually consist of pulling a bag out of the freezer and turning the air fryer on. Now, if you're sitting there and saying, so far, I haven't heard anything wrong with this, you're absolutely correct in feeling that way. That's a good way to feel about it. My wife, though, you know, occasionally, she's gonna pick apart some of these meals. You know, sometimes I'll get the question, you know, do you think that 2 waffles and 2 pieces of chicken is really a good meal? Yes, I do. Is anybody familiar with the meal chicken and waffles? It's quite popular in some areas, and it's a wonderful time for everybody involved. You know, my wife, though, would look at something like that and she'd say, where is the vegetable? That's fair. That's fair. It's not the healthiest meal out there. So anyway, you're getting a sense for the type of meals that the goat might try and slam on the table. And the options are limited when mom is out of town. Okay, we're kind of just left with what we're left with when it comes down to it. So I was jesting at the beginning of the video. I did not try and make peanut butter pie. Have I done that in the past? Yes. Did it go over well? For me, not for the children's. Kids just don't have an appreciation for oyster crackers, jelly, and you know what? I even sprung for the raspberry jelly with preserves. The good stuff. The expensive jar. Oyster crackers, man. You get your salty, your sweet, all in one. So, we didn't do that this time. But I will tell you, gleefully, the chicken and waffles did show up at the dinner table. And my kids like it. There was nobody there to say, where are the vegetables? Because you know what? There were none, damn it. None. They were somewhere in the freezer. Or in that section of the grocery store. So we just didn't have any. And it was okay. It was all right. We also had an outing at Chipotle. We wanted to have a good meal for our watching of the Hell's Kitchen finale. You like Gordon Ramsay? We are huge fans of Gordon Ramsay and get sucked into a lot of his shows. What do we want to do here? Boy, we got, 5 slots for artifacts here. I don't really care about the greed at this point. Let's go ahead and reduce the cooldown on the Hellfire Staff. We got to start looking for some nice artifact buffs to our skills with all these open slots. Man, oh man. But so far, we're doing pretty good. I mean, we're holding our own against these guys. Weapons are looking really good here too. Looks like we need 5 more upgrades between all our weapons to max everything out. And then we'll start to look for evolutions if we can get our hands on any. Let's definitely go with an increase to gathering range. That's always a nice one to have. I love my magnesis. So we got our Chipotle and fired up the finale of Hell's Kitchen. We had the final 2 episodes, so a good chunky 2 hours of Gordon just screaming at people. There's something cathartic to watching others get yelled at by Gordon when it's not you yourself getting yelled at by Gordon. I'm trying to decide if we want to add this iron armor at this point. I think we're gonna. I feel like we need to. Oh boy, we got a big boy out here now with us. Old zombified Yokozuna, we're gonna say. I'm sure if we looked this creature up, that is the name we would see out there. Zombified Yokozuna. Remember Yokozuna from WWF days? My goodness, what a time. Do we want to increase luck? I think we do. You know, let's go ahead with nice zap to luck. That will help with chest drops. Now, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is an owl familiar following us around, and familiars are a newer addition to Scarlet Tower. This familiar happens to be buffing my speed. Okay, let's go and increase damage by 30 and we'll max out. Are we? No. 2 more. 2 more pips left in the Hellfire Staff. Now these mid-stage bosses that you run into, the zombified Yokozunas of the world, they are chunkier boys and girls. They've got decent-sized health bars on them. Ooh, adds 1 cast. Let's do that. Beautiful. And that sound you heard is signifying that we've maxed out that weapon. All right. I love all the neon colors that pop off in this game. It's just a beautiful looking bullet heaven. Let's go with some damage to the fight. Well, we still got these 2 slots out there. We'll go haste. speed up those projectiles. We do have quite a few of them. I'm sure that will help the cause. Now, if this is your first time seeing Scarlet Tower, I highly recommend this game. I think we'll go cooldown reduction as well here as our final artifact. It is one of the harder bullet heavens. I'll caution you there. But I found that the challenge to this game drew me in even more. You know, it definitely made for that type of experience that just kept bringing me back over and over again. You know, just one more game type of thing. Pretty beefy meta progression tree as well, which I have, for the most part, filled out at this point. Let's go toward finishing with the buffing of our weapons. 2 more pips left on the fire staff. Now here's what's even more enjoyable about this game. There's a day and night cycle. And at night, I would argue that the game gets even more difficult. There's a chest. That's going to help with kicking up our weapon power a little bit more. So at night, there's also a different type of gem that drops that helps you open up more of the meta progression. We'll show that off for those of you that have not spent a lot of time with this game. Okay, that sound means a chest dropped. Let's see here. Let's go with... Boy, oh boy. Let's go gathering range. Holy moly, okay. Increase the luck, increase to gathering range, attack speed, more cooldown reduction, more armor. That was an awesome chest, wow. Was that another chest? Yeah, okay, we've got an arrow pointing us towards it. Wow. All right, so some more increase to gathering range. It's wonderful. Now, things do get a little bit harder at night, in my opinion. And so I'm going to be looking for opportunities to boost that armor that we have. Because that's got a few more pips left in it to be boosted. I think our skills, for the most part, are firing off at a decent rate to help control the horde. But you can see what I mean. This is a little bit harder of a bullet heaven. They really pour on the enemies, and again, I've got a lot of the meta progression tree unlocked, which provides a lot of help. And so when you come into this game in the beginning, it's challenging. Okay, do we go cooldown reduction? I think we do. I want to try and take down Yokozuna. Usually, if you keep them on screen, you'll continue sending bullets that way. You know, because of course all of these are auto-aiming for us. All right, let's go armor. These things are only going to get more challenging. Now in this area too, you're seeing the enemies drop this red slime on the ground. Hence the name Plague Lands. They're not kidding. Okay, let's just go ahead and max out this cooldown reduction. Where did Yoko go? I don't think he passed away yet. There he is. Oh boy. All right. See, now that's why I wanted to take down Yokozuna before that other guy came out. That was the goal. But, you know, here we are. You make adjustments on the fly. I think we'll be okay. You know, the boost to speed that the owl is offering is quite nice. And Yoko doesn't have a ton of health, so... In fact, I think Yoko has seen his last days. All right. Whoa, let's stay out of that crap. And when you're looking for even more of a speed boost, we can transform into a bat. All right, power gauntlet, luck, attack speed, armor, and gathering range. I'd take a sip of coffee there with these pauses. I am drinking my coffee in a Pennywise cup. Increases damage dealt by 10%. Let's do that. Okay, so that one's maxed out. This guy's got 75% of his health left. We are moving right along here. This is going well. Okay, great. Great. All right, increases attack speed. Excellent. So we need just 2 more upgrades and then we are maxed out. All right, so now they're starting to throw additional gems at us, just like when you get towards the end of a Vampire Survivors run, where they're hitting you with that gold. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'll take the gold. Let's max this out. All right. We are maxed to the max. What is this? This is brand new. I have not seen the dice before. I wonder if that just opened up the capability to reroll, maybe? Or maybe it's a new familiar. I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we? All right, let's see what's in here. Gold relic, okay. All right. Okay, we got night shards. I guess we'll go with the 700 in gold. And you know, maybe we're not going to see any weapon evolutions this time. I don't know. Sometimes I think it depends on the combination of weapons and support items that you take. You know what I love about Bullet Heavens? You can go Wazda with the left hand, Coffee in the right hand. It's such a win. All right, we'll go Night Shards this time. More gold. We also took a look at that Marvel Wakanda Forever movie. I only watched part of it. You know, I'll tell you, ever since Marvel's Eternals came out, I've kind of stepped away from the Marvel films a little bit, I was telling my kids that I like that the films are still being made, right? But I just don't know that these guys are going to be able to top the Thanos series of films for me. You know, I think that was the top of the top for me. All right, we picked up some kind of blood gem looking thing there. We've got 3 of those now. And I think there's a chest laying around out there. But I loved Thanos, and we tried watching the Eternals. Now, my kids liked it, and after seeing, I don't know, 45 minutes of it, my wife and I looked at each other and we were like, have you seen enough? Are you ready to move on? Like I say, I'm glad they're still making those films. But I really liked Iron Man, and, you know, spoilers, I don't know that he's going to be coming back. I don't think Robert Downey's going to be making a return. Maybe they'll bring him back for a episode on What If. Do you like What If? I really like What If on Disney Plus. Man, they've got some good episodes. That one with Doctor Strange. If you haven't seen it, there is a What If with Doctor Strange, and it is phenomenal. They've got a new season that's, you know, slated to come out. I think the last I heard, it was gonna come out this year. I know we've got the new season of The Mandalorian 3 sitting out there. Or season 3, rather, of The Mandalorian. I think it's season 3, right? I'll watch that. But what I'd really like is more What If. They've got some really hard-hitting episodes, you know. And I'll tell you, ever since The Mist, Stephen King's story that was adapted by Frank Darabont. Boy, I'm getting all the names today. This coffee is helping quite a bit. All the names are accessible. Ever since The Mist, I'm not going to spoil it. But if you've seen The Mist, you know what I'm talking about, because you don't forget it. You do not forget the ending of The Mist. I like a hard-hitting ending. And there are some episodes in the What If series that deliver that in a big, big way. Now, I went through a phase where I said, you know, I don't know that cartoons are for me anymore. I don't know that I can do cartoons. In a lot of ways, I don't do cartoons. They don't do it for me anymore. Would I watch the classic Saturday morning X-Men series if it was on the television right now? Yes, I would. Would I watch the Batman show? Yes, I would. But everything else, the new stuff out there, the Dragon Balls of the world, I can't do it. Just not into it. But I'm going to tell you something. What If? Wow. Yes, it's animated. But it's also wonderful. Hey, that was a great run, you know? Didn't necessarily see any evolutions. Which, you know, that's not fun. But it was a great run. All right, let's show off the meta progression. We've got Night Shards and Gold. Okay. A lot of different characters as well, and the dev has been working to add different passives to these characters as well. You'll see some of these are locked out. The game's in early access still, so we cut them a break for that. But you'll see here that we've got familiars that can be upgraded. I was using Hoot, who gives a nice boost to speed that worked quite well for us out there. And we've got the meta progression tree that just hits stats, and as you'll see, I have everything completely specced out. I have spent many an hour in Scarlet Tower, all enjoyable time in this game. Really, really great, and excited to play it more. I am looking forward to seeing what the Scarlet Tower holds for us. As you complete the areas, you can up the corruption level, and that controls the type of enemies that you get seen on the screen. It also procs some additional percentages of the potential drops as well as that. So anyway, folks, Scarlet Tower, it's a banger. If you haven't gotten to it yet, strongly consider wishlisting it. Really, you should just go out and wishlist it. Do it. You'll be happy you did. I'll tell you what, I'll see you next time out on the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we will play a roguelike or a roguelite, because that's what we do every single time. And you know what else we'll do? We'll give away a video game every week, at least once a week in 2023. And that's because of you and your support. This channel is bringing in a whopping 30 cents a day. But we take all of that, we pump it right back into Steam for the most part, and we do giveaways for you. Because it's fun, and it's nice doing something nice for somebody. So anyway, you all take care, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time out there. Have a great one.